Fox News even refused to sign.
The Pentagon tried to get all the media outlets that cover the Pentagon to sign a pledge that they would basically not report on anything that's not spoon-fed. That is absolutely crazy. Look, Jeremy, you've been a flack on the corporate side. I've been a flack on the government side at DHS and at the White House. And the reality is we get reporting all the time that we don't like, and we have tough arguments with reporters. You know, I can't tell you the number of times that I've had heated arguments with either a reporter or going over their heads to talk to their editors and pushing back on stories that sometimes got it wrong. Sometimes we just disagreed with the framing. And those are legitimate arguments to have.
Fox News even refused to sign, which I think the only people who signed is the OAN network, which is like Trump TV. I think it's great because they need the legitimate press. They need the AP. They need all the networks. And I think something like that would work against them too, because if you're not giving reporters official access and statements or whatever, if you're gonna just drown them out and just blacklist them or whatnot, media is going to rely on sources. They have sources, and that's how they're going to get their information, not from officially. They're going to dig deeper and deeper and deeper just to get news, and that doesn't help the Pentagon. So I think this is going to blow up in their face. I think it already has. When you have one network agreeing to this, I don't see how they win on this.
It's also part of a broader, very disturbing pattern that this administration has. Its trend towards authoritarianism. It also doesn't make sense because if you have somebody who's been media friendly, it's Donald Trump. It's how he made himself a local celebrity in New York, even using a fake name and pretending to be his own publicist.
Yep. Oh, John something. Yeah, he would pretend to be a publicist when it was really Donald Trump.
I'm not suggesting that the Pentagon under Hegseth or anyone else should simply accept that any story that runs is accurate. Like, that's the whole point of freedom of the press, is that they get to report and you get to argue with them when you disagree and push back. And sometimes that results in tweaks or changes. Sometimes it doesn't. But that's the system that allows for a free press to operate. And I have to say, I'm glad that the major news media organizations refuse to sign.
Secretary of War now, or the Defense Department. I think he did this just to ingratiate himself to Trump. I think it's complete just theater. The president's so funny. If you have a switchboard and you tell him 9 out of 10 people are conservative media, but Maggie Haberman from the Times is on line 1, he's going to take her call. He says they're the enemy, but he wants that legitimacy.